I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
Tevin, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 241 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And before I kick off the episode, my usual housekeeping message, guys, please can you head over to our Instagram page, which is the SZN Podcast, and our Twitter page is SZN Pod. There's a link in the bio on both those pages there, and that will take you to where we're situated at on all streaming platforms. So make sure you do that for us, guys. You've got the Spotify, Apple Podcast links there if you like audio. And if you like the visuals, you've got the YouTube link also there. More to come. Flowz, hope you're good.
Yeah, man. How are you?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm blessed. Ready to talk some boxing. We was treated to two, I think, fights the past weekend that are definitely worth talking about. Two barnstormers, to be honest, bro. Like, if I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Two absolute barnstormers. Ladies first, right? Should we start with the ladies?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's start with the ladies.
Both rematches. Both fights are rematches.
Both rematches. And both went the same way, but both crackers, to be honest, bro. As I said, we'll start with the rematch between Michaela Mayer and Sandy Ryan. Sandy was challenging for Mayer's belts. First fight was competitive. Mayer got the deserved W in that first fight. I think that was a split decision. I think she won in the first fight, right? I think it might have been. Can't remember. But second fight, to be honest, bro, in my opinion, was even more competitive. And yeah, from round 1 to round 10, as ladies tend to do, we ain't got to sugarcoat it on this pod. We know what women do when it comes to that squared circle. They threw their hands at a furious pace, and it made for a barnstorm of a fight. Like I said, bro, slobber knuckle, however you want to dress it up, rock 'em, sock 'em. Both ladies left it all out there in the ring, and yeah, it really entertained me. Obviously, we've spoken at length, bro, about the preamble between these two and the needle that they have and the issues that Sandy Ryan faced in that first fight. So obviously, we could tell that she was coming in super motivated to, I guess, put those issues behind her, bro, and just try and obviously score the upset. Obviously, she felt that, what happened last time hindered her performance in the ring. So I like to think there'll be no complaints this time, bro. Sandy Ryan gave a valiant effort in my eyes. She tried to apply pressure to Michaela when she could. She let her hands go. Unfortunately, to me, bro, watching it, Michaela did all those things at just a higher level. And it was just level, like she was doing it at a higher clip to me. And, whenever Sandy would have a success, I always love it when a fighter answers and never lets the other fighter have the last word. Sandy would have a period of success and land a couple punches, and Michaela would immediately reply with her own work and sort of close the argument each time. So just Michaela, you can see is better pedigree. She's an Olympian. She's a multi-weight world champion. And, she's been and operated at a high level longer than Sandy, to be honest, bro. And I think that was on display on Saturday night with just the work that she put in and what she was doing in terms of her shot selection, bro. The way that she was closing the arguments and the way that whenever they were sucked into a war of attrition, she was winning that to me with the better quality shots and the higher work rate as well. And unfortunately, it's just a levels thing, as we've said many times in this pod. And she's just at a level above Sandy Ryan. No shame in that. Michaela's great. But Sandy, I don't think should be too hard on herself. She did her thing. But yeah, Michaela deservedly got my W, bro. How did you see the fight?
Yeah, I thought it was a very good fight. I think round 9 in particular was gassy. A lot of the rounds were gassy. Yeah. Even women's fights always have me on the edge of my seat with an eye because they go for it with shots they're landing, and because there aren't too many knockouts um, you tend to see shots landing flush more frequently, and
Yeah.
catching and wobbling, and then they're fighting on for it, almost like Rocky Rocky movies, catching shots and fighting back. But yeah, for me, Michaela Mayer was the hooks were landing nicely. She was sitting down more on her shots, but also letting her hands go more. So while Sandy was maybe throwing one, two shots in those exchanges, Mayer will be throwing four, five. And they all have purchase behind it. It's not just ta 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 ta. It's not tappy tappy. She's really flinging it and swinging it. And you found Sandy was maybe slower to the punches and maybe being the one who's being backed up in those shots or covering up in those shots. So I think those were the portions where Michaela was winning the rounds and edging the rounds, just through speed, work rate, combination punches, and yeah, I wouldn't say power, but just putting meaning behind each shot that she throws. So yeah, for me, she won it. I don't think Sandy could have too many complaints, but she shouldn't feel too downhearted. It was a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. Just sharper overall, and that's it really with Michaela. And it's probably it's expected. I expected that to be the case. I'm sure you did as well. Like I said, we've seen Michaela now for a while, Olympian, and she's operated at a high level for a good while now. So it, yeah, it was always going to be a tough task for Sandy to win that rematch, but I think she performed probably better than the first fight. So more power to her and well done. She can come again. Um, in terms of Michaela, obviously highly decorated now. Um, Unified, obviously at that weight class. I think it's welterweight, women's welterweight.
Mhm.
It's obvious. I mean, I mentioned it previously in terms of what will be next for the winner. And obviously, she said it as well in the fight that, she wanted to give Sandy a rematch because the first fight was great. But now she wants to move on and go for undisputed. And for that to happen, she needs to take on Lauren Price, who we obviously saw recently defeat Tasha Jonas, right? So yeah, to me, that'd be a crack of a fight, bro. And no doubt about it, they're gonna make that happen because we know the women don't stand on ceremony; they get it cracking quickly. So yeah, I expect that fight to happen. Does that fight intrigue you? What do you make of that fight? I'm assuming you want to see it.
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
intrigue me. We've seen Lauren Price go on a run now. Beat Tasha.
hooked
Who
on.
she who she beat before? Jessica McCaskill.
Yeah,
Loads beat, and we've only seen Michaela lose in close fights, in fights that she arguably won, or many people had her winning against Tasha Jonas and the the big beef um, against what's it?
Baumgartner.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, yeah. Two very very close fights. Those was very very close fights, and yeah, as you said, they arguably could have gone either way. But yeah, definitely something that we can sink our teeth to if it does happen, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and predict any winners yet. We'll see. Once the fight gets made, we'll discuss it. But that's what I fully expect to happen next, and hopefully, yeah, they don't keep us waiting too soon. That's a great fight for the division. I'm trying to remember when she fought Baumgartner. That wasn't for undisputed, was it? It wasn't. I think. I think it was just for unified. Because I'm pretty
Well,
sure Baumgartner fought someone else to become undisputed. I think like
yeah, she did. She
an
fought
Asian. Yeah. Yeah.
undisputed.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Michaela, she's done her, she's put in work for a while now, so it'd be nice for her to get undisputed. But I'm not going to begrudge Lauren Price. If she wins, she deserve it, and she's cold as well. So yeah, so yeah, definitely an intriguing fight. Let's see what happens, and yeah, Sandy, yeah, pick up the pieces and come again. Um, cool. Let's head over to our other rematch. So over to Mexico, and bro, Tevin Farmer, man. I said it last week. No matter the case, I'm always going to give Tevin Farmer props on this pod. I don't care, bro. Whether it's a loss or a win, I'm always going to put respect on his name. And he makes it easy for us, I think, bro, in his performances in the ring, personally.
Yeah.
Because once again, even though he didn't get the victory, and we'll discuss the fight, obviously,
Yeah.
I left watching that fight applauding Tevin, gas for Tevin, and just rooting for him even more because he has so much stacks against him, bro.
Yeah.
And he does. He's deep it, especially that
Yeah.
last night. Oh, yeah, especially what he's got deep stacks against him is crazy. And routinely, I don't know, man. He just shows things in the ring to me that just makes me want to root for him even more. So, yeah, man. I want once again give Tevin Farmer his props. This fight, bro, was a cracker again, an absolute cracker from start to finish. And I just think you really have to put respect on Tevin's name and to just really highlight how much of a dog he is. How much of a dog he is. His heart,
Yeah.
bro, it's ridiculous. It's
Crazy.
ridiculous.
Crazy.
In fact, could even say that at his age and where he's at his career, he doesn't even need to have that much dog in him. But he still does. I'll be sorry. He doesn't need, bro. I'm looking at Tevin. You ain't gonna do all this, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool. Just sail off into the sunset. But he's there showing that performances like that. Crazy. Look, multiple times in that fight, listeners, Tevin Farmer was hurt. And there was a period where it was so peak for him that I'm there thinking, boy, he might get stopped. You know, he's struggling to come through this. But somehow he was able to grit his teeth, bite down his gum shield, and come through those moments of adversity. And, you know, almost, steal a win, maybe even. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's a fact.
When I'm talking about things stacked against him, bro, he's the unfancied older fighter against a young, up and coming, let's say, Mexican sensation in William Zepeda. Highly rated, the Mexicans, he's got a bit of a backing since Zepeda, even though I don't really rate him too tough, but he is highly touted, let's be honest, bro. Zepeda is highly touted. He's fighting in Mexico. He is a fighter with no power, so he can't really, he's a non-power punch. He doesn't stop guys. He is up against a pressure fighter, and we know how pressure fighters can still judge his rounds and all that kind of stuff. And to make it matters worse, I can't remember which round it was. It might have been the second or third. Tevin Farmer's fallen, and he's actually injured his arm.
It was before that, bro. I'm sure it was the first round.
It might have been the first, even. It might have been. It was. I know it was early.
It was the
Top
first
first
round.
three. Could have been first, even. You're right. Early doors. He suffered a fall, and he's kind of landed on his funny on his arm, and he's getting up. You can literally see him like shaking his arm in the corner and whatnot, and it's quite clear that he's actually injured his arm. So it's like, boy, and he was still able to battle through all of those odds stacked against him, bro, to put out that amazing performance. So yeah, man, all the credit in the world to Tevin Farmer, man. And what a fight it was. What a fight it was. It ebbed and flowed. It turned into a war of attrition, which again, you would say that probably doesn't suit Tevin Farmer, but he's such a good boxer that he's actually a really good inside fighter. And there were times when he was beaten Zepeda on the inside. Despite obviously, like I said, getting hurt a few times. And then that last round, bro. What can I say about that? Oh, another thing stacked against him.
I was rooting for him. Yeah, the last round.
Another thing stacked against Tevin Farmer, I forgot. There was a knockdown that wasn't called.
Yeah.
In my eyes. I mean, to be fair, you could say that maybe Zepeda could have had a knockdown ruled against. Could have called no. But I personally thought that was a slip, and I was rightfully called a slip. But in the 12th round, bro, Tevin Farmer has hit Zepeda with a punch, and it's messy. It's not the cleanest, but we've seen Zepeda go down. And the referee, and I said, that's a knockdown. That's a knockdown. The referee's gone, I said, you're joking me. That's when I said, yeah. What can I? Well, hey, we said it before. Easiest type of fighter to rob. Even though I wouldn't call it a robbery, but you know what I mean. Like it's easy for that to happen against Tevin Farmer. So just so many things stacked against him, bro. He was never going to win that fight. But the fact that he dared to almost win it, to me, deserves all the accolades. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, good fight, like you say. Yeah, it's I think I was watching it, and I think he injured his hand in the first round, but didn't show it. I think maybe because there's a period where his face, you know that he
It
shook
was,
his hand, his
yeah,
face, he looks like he was hurt in the first round, and it
yeah.
wasn't from a shot, it wasn't from a punch, and then second round he took an onslaught, and that's where his corner shouted to take a knee. They were asking him to do the tank.
Yep.
Take a quick knee and run back to your corner. It won't be counted. I guarantee you'll be counted. It would have been counted
Oh, for sure.
for Tevin. But they were telling him to take a knee. He was getting the brakes beaten off him. His
It's
corner
peak.
shouting at him to take a knee because he was obviously hurt. They wanted him back to the corner maybe to check him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He refused. For he lost the fight. Is the truth. He lost the
He
fight,
did.
but
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
he didn't lose with the fans or anyone watching. In the sense that he stock rose again. Tevin Farmer at the age of 35, is it?
Yeah. 35, 36.
Yeah. Like you say, he has nothing to prove. He's lost what 7, 8 times already.
Yeah.
Been robbed many times. Not holding a belt. He's not protecting anything. He's not protecting an O. He's not protecting a belt. Just pride and just fight and dog is what
Dog,
he's.
boy.
And then he's there, almost getting stronger as the fight goes on. He's going
Bro,
through hell and responding by getting stronger.
he locked in. I understand it now. And he locked the hell in. He locked in.
Uppercuts he was landing, the exchanges. Yeah, it was Zepeda who starts to fade in the later rounds.
Bro, talk about the inside game,
Yeah,
which should be suiting Zepeda more like, pressure fighter and whatnot. Zepeda was losing on the inside in portions of that fight from Tevin's work. It was brilliant.
yeah. And you start to think if he had 2 functioning hands,
Yeah.
if he had power,
Power. Mm-hmm.
what problem Tevin Farmer could be. Because Zepeda was there beating him on volume and the fact that Tevin was injured. He outworked him. I'm not going to sit and say Tevin won, even with the knockdown. What did the judges have? They had it quite close, didn't they?
Yeah, so I think no, one had it close,
Yeah.
and the other two might have had it wider.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
team
The one might have even given it a draw,
scorecards
Yeah.
were.
Let me double
Because
check what the
I
scorecards
say
were.
that
Yeah.
because come to that knockdown. Now I want to explain to listeners why when Tevin went down, it wasn't a
Yeah.
knockdown.
Sorry. One had it 140, 114, and then the other
Okay.
two 116, 112, 115, 113. So yeah. Even close.
The knockdown, we're looking at a different result of the
Yeah.
knockdown.
Yep.
If you look at a different result, we're looking at either a split draw or yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, the first one where Tevin went down he was holding Zepeda, took 2 steps forward, went down. No shots were initiated.
Yeah.
Down. Slip. Rightly ruled. When I first saw it, I thought, it's one apiece. When I heard that they both went down,
Yeah.
I thought, okay, one apiece. But when I saw it, I was like, nope, that's not knockdown.
Yep.
And I saw Tevin land, I think it was a left, maybe slightly back of the head, but
It was a bit, yeah.
from a
But-
shot.
Yeah.
From a shot. And not an intentional rabbit punch, not even a proper rabbit punch. It's a shot.
Zepeda's kind of ducked into it, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Caught him, and he's gone. Even if it didn't catch him clean, whether it's a push or something, I don't know what the ref was trying to claim. It's from a shot, a throwing punch.
Yeah.
And Zepeda's gone down.
Yeah.
And he's ruled it a slip. In my book, that's not a slip.
Yeah. It wasn't a slip. And
knockdown.
I was incredulous. I was like, nah, that's a knockdown. That is a knockdown. What's this ref doing? Obviously, we know what boxing makes
Is what it is.
fighter, blah blah. So it's what it is. But yeah,
I did have Zepeda winning.
I did
I don't know if that knockdown would have affected my scorecard too much, but on the night it might have done for the judges.
Mhm.
And it's a shame. I think if he didn't have the injured hands, he could have done a number of Zepeda.
I mean, Flowz, the first fight, he arguably won with two functioning hands, and he didn't get the decision. I don't think there's any, unless he knocked this guy out, he probably or dropped him like 6 times. He was never going to win this fight, to be honest. But in our eyes, yes, he could have won. Yes, I agree in that sense. But on the night, he was never going to win. It's never going to win, unfortunately. And we said it so many times before when we have great fighters that unfortunately do not have that pop or aren't blessed with that sort of power to end fights, and that's what makes them so easy to rob, even though this wasn't a robbery by any means. But you know what I mean. It's a shame, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. It has to be damn near perfect or completely destroy his opponent from a boxing standpoint for him to get decisions. And Zepeda unfortunately got off way too much work for that to be the case. And yeah, but the fact that he's still alive, bro, after all these bad decisions and heartbreak and his advanced age. Remember, we thought he'd retired. He took a couple of years out, came back. The fact that he's still alive and giving problems to the young, hungry, up and coming, potential next big things is to me that's amazing in itself, Tevin Farmer. So yeah, man, I will always give him props. He can still give anyone clearly a bad day in the office. He probably won't get any decisions, bro, especially if it's a close fight against a tighter prospect. He won't get no decisions. But, hey, one of these days he might get lucky. But unfortunately, at 36 or whatever it is, he hasn't got many of these days left, I don't think. And, yeah. I still want him to hang around, though. I'll be honest. He's still shown enough for me to hang around.
Yeah.
But I just know it's going to be a lot of potential heartbreak like this. Because you can see he was inconsolable again, saying, he said straight up, I haven't got a big promoter. I can't get decisions because I'm not linked to anyone. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go from here. It's peak. It's peak.
I love this. It's just damning an indictment of boxing that boxers are telling you I don't have promoters to help me get decisions.
Word. Because if he was still an Eddie Hearn fighter, bro, he might have been able to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But we will always rate him on this pod, man. Always.
Yeah.
He's cold, man. Tevin Farmer's cold.
Yeah, deserved a big fight that we wanted to see for ages, but
oh yeah, that's never happening. Yeah,
it's not as simple as
actually he's crap. Now. Actually, he's lost a couple of times now, so they might actually try and run that. Yeah. Back when he was champ, they weren't going to run it.
Yeah, when he was on that run, yeah, they weren't seeing him.
No, not at all. Shame, big shame. But yeah, man, I hope to see Tevin. I hope he sticks around. But again, if he decides to call it a day, no shame. He's a cheat. He was champion. Had a great run. Showed brilliant boxing skills throughout his career. So yeah, and he's got nothing left to prove, as I said. So yeah, man, you can sail off into the sunset. Look, Zepeda, another one that was on the Shakur duck list. I think he ducked Shakur a couple of times actually, but he's mandatory. In fact, he was mandatory before the Tevin Farmer fights for Shakur, and he chose to go the Tevin Farmer route. But now there's no run. He has to fight Shakur if he's serious. But like I said before, bro, if that fight happens, when it happens, Shakur ain't got nothing to worry about. Ain't got nothing to worry about at all. He will get cooked. It's a standard pressure fighting Mexican, man. I don't rate him like that, man. I don't see the hype personally. That's me though. But yeah, cool. Flowz, let's take a sneak peek into next week. What we got next week? Let's start here in the UK. Now I was mega excited for this card when it first got announced because it was initially, it was meant to be Joyce versus Dylan White, which I didn't really care about. But on the undercard, we had obviously a guy David Adley, against Jamie TKV, whatever his name is. Obviously, any time Adley's on the card, we're fans now on this pod, aren't we? So
I've seen a little clip of them going back and forth or beefing behind the scenes. So I need to look into that and find out what happened there.
Yeah, it's fine because they're meant to be, they're boys. I swear they're mates. They know each other. Yeah, they're mates. So
they're cool apparently. So
yeah, but yeah, Adelaide's always exciting, always interesting to tune into. Funny guy. So yeah, but for me, the fight that I was, you as well, I guess, excited for was the a Cody Rakpo fight, which, as we know, has been years in the making. It's gone from, pull-ups to red carpet brawls to all sorts. So we thought that was what really got us excited. And obviously, unfortunately, the card kind of went to pieces a little bit because first it was Dylan White pulling out due to injury. And then we then found out a couple of days later, actually, that Cody also pulled out because he got injured. So that kind of made the card kind of not as exciting anymore. And now it's like, ugh. But obviously, we mentioned it a few weeks ago how the replacement for the Joe Joyce fight was Filip Hrgovic, which is an even harder opponent than Dylan White. The Adelaide fight still going ahead, no issues there. But the Akoli Riakporhe fight is no longer on the card. And I mean, well, Akoli's not there. And Riakporhe is also not going to be on the card either. So they're taking him off the card too. So yeah, unfortunate for Riakporhe. But we can still talk about, I guess, the Adelaide fight and the Joe Joyce fight. Starting with Adelaide, nothing more to say. I've never seen this Jamie TKV fight. I don't know if you have. So I don't really have much to say on that one. I expect Adelaide it's for the vacant British title. I expect Adelaide to come through that. Obviously, this will be the second fight with Adam Booth. First fight looked promising. Obviously, he didn't really do much. He knocked out Sol Dakers in a couple seconds. Yeah. So knocked him out in one round. But yeah, interested to see how his link up with Adam Booth flourishes and how it progresses. So I expect him to come through Jamie TKV. Probably should be an exciting fight. But yeah. But Joyce Hrgovic, bro, I think that is worth talking about a little bit. Probably, like I said, a harder opponent for Joyce, probably. What? When did we last see Hrgovic? He has fought since. Has he fought since he lost to Dubois?
I don't think so.
Interesting. That is a bit of a layoff then.
Because I remember asking, where's Hrgovic at before?
Yeah.
I don't think he has fought since then.
I'm checking now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was thinking, where's you got missing? And obviously, we've seen
Yeah, he hasn't fought since the Dubois loss, which is very interesting. Obviously, we know how heavily touted Hrgovic was. He's seen as one point the boogeyman. Everyone was avoiding him. The next big thing almost. Dubois kind of took that from him. I'm pretty sure he might have fought Joyce in the amateurs, I'm sure. Maybe. Because, he was I wouldn't be surprised if they have.
Yeah, would have, surely.
Yeah, they're the same amateur generation, no? So, I'll try and see if they have. But
we've talked about it before with Toka.
I could, yep. I can see it. Like 2016 Olympics, so they're together in the Olympics.
Yeah, it was good. It was meant to be a promising cohort. That
yeah, it was Joyce, Yoka, Hrgovic, and okay, Hrgovic lost to Yoka in the quarters of the Olympics. I remember that. But yeah, I'm sure they would have fought before for sure. Yeah, what do you make of this one, Flowz?
Skill wise, look, I've sat here and rooted against Joyce, or gone against Joyce so many times, and he's proved me wrong so many times. But eventually caught up with him, and I started to get my get back. You know that I haven't against Joyce. Just haven't rated him as a boxer.
Yep.
He's got attributes that he relied on: his chin, a good jab, and his ability to just keep coming forward, and his engine, keep going, taking shots, keep coming forward, not slowing down. It starts slow really, but stays at the same pace or increases his pace as he goes on. But ability-wise, in terms of throwing punches, how sluggish he looks, plodded forward, I've never rated the style. I've never rated the ability too much. So for me, a prepared Hrgovic should handle him, should even wash him, maybe even stop him.
Mm-hmm.
Prepared Hrgovic. Now, as we know, this is 2-3 weeks notice. Hrgovic stepped in.
Yeah. Maybe a bit
So
longer, maybe a month, but yeah.
I can't say. And layoffs, I'm not a fan of layoffs.
Yep.
If it will give me something to go off, in that sense. And we saw Hrgovic fade badly against the Dubois.
Yeah.
Badly. um, and if there's anyone you don't want to fade against, it's a Joe Joyce. So it does make it interesting. It does make it interesting. I don't know what your thoughts.
To put it simply, bro, I cannot take you seriously as a heavyweight if you lose to Derek Chisora within the last year and a half. Joe Joyce lost to Derek Chisora in 2024. He even got dropped by him. This is a finished Derek Chisora. I don't care if he's still winning. He's finished. This is the Chisora that's been around for the Klitschko days. This is the Chisora that has like 13 losses. I cannot take you seriously as a heavyweight fighter or as a boxer, point blank, really, if you're losing to this version of Derek Chisora, which Joe Joyce did. In my eyes, Hrgovic should destroy this guy. In my eyes. Should do. Heavy on the should. And in fact, if he doesn't, I'm looking at Hrgovic funny. I'll be so real.
Yeah.
Now, I will take into the account that, yes, as you said, late replacement. I don't know where he's been, what he's been doing, if he's been in camp. We don't know. The loss to Dubois was quite, I guess, damning for him, maybe. And I feel like it might have affected the psyche as well a little bit because he got stopped, ran out of steam badly, and all throughout that build-up, remember, the way him and his team and everyone was moving, like even towards the other fighters, like Hrgovic is the one everyone is scared of. Everyone is scared of. He was there saying, look, remember they did like the heavyweight round table, all of them. And Hrgovic was, he put his nuts on the table at pause and was like, yeah, man, I'm not scared. Like, I'm the best here. Like, look at
the whole team.
Bro, he looks at every single one of AJ, all of them. He said, I'm better than all you, man. Like, you, man, are all scared of me. And
He was killing the boy.
He was little boying him. Like, used to mess you up in sparring, this, that. So the way he was talking, you're thinking, yo, this is the boogeyman that everyone keeps talking about. Hrgovic, everyone's scared of him. And he went out like that. I feel like mentally that could be very damaging. Very damaging because I'm sure he himself fought Dubois. And to be honest, the way it started too, he was piecing up Dubois. So I know for a fact him and his team felt that this was going to be easy work. And obviously it got proven to be a war of attrition, which he faded and lost in. So to me, I do think there might be some psychological effects. Maybe, potentially we could see that. And like, again, I don't know where he's been, whether he's been training, how serious he's been outside the ring. I have no clue. This is the first we're seeing of him literally since that Dubois loss. So I cannot vouch for what version of Hrgovic or what condition he's going to turn up in. But if he turns up in shape, serious, he should wash Joe Joyce. Wash him.
Yeah.
Wash him. So I actually hope it's an in-shape Hrgovic, personally.
Yeah, me too.
So, because I've got no time for Joyce. I mean, he's not offering nothing. Let's be real. What's Joe Joyce going to offer now? He's old. He had that chance.
Yeah.
He lost it. Unfortunately, he gets zanged twice. And we saw his career completely unravel. 10 rounds with Cash Ali. It's in the 10th rounder. He only got him out there in the 10th round. Listen, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not good, bro. And then you lost to Derek Chisora.
That's where, yeah.
I can't. If you're losing Derek Chisora if you're losing Derek Chisora as a heavyweight, this version of Derek, I can't take you seriously. I'll be so real. There's just nothing there left. So I'm not, and we know with Joyce, we're not going to expect some miraculous change of style. He only fights one way. Slow, plods forward. doesn't block shots. Uses his chin to block shots. So,
about what? I just remembered after the Zag loss that he asked him what the game plan was, if there was a game plan. And he said, yeah, there was. It was like, oh, what was it? And my man started waffling.
He had to change game plan for like half a round or a round, and then he's reverted back to type. Like he's not capable of boxing any other way. And it again, you think, yeah, I mean, it's worked for him his whole career, But with someone like Zhang who can bang, and Hrgovic is a power puncher. Hrgovic hits hard, so that same Joe Joyce chin that was so mythical, as you've said, bro, is crumbled. It's not the same no more. So yeah, man, a serious in shape Hrgovic should wash this guy, and if he doesn't, that's all down to I think that purely down to Hrgovic just not being in shape or fight ready. And again, that'll make me look at him funny because, like I said, this is a guy that lost to Derek Chisora. No offense to Derek Chisora, but he should not be beating Joe Joyce. So yeah. Speaking of Derek Chisora, he has been mandated as the number one contender for the Brass title, I think. So shout out to Derek.
Yeah. Resume is looking unbelievable, ain't it now?
What do you say?
Well, Derek's resume is looking brilliant again.
Yeah. He's actually fought everyone as well from different eras. From different eras. So yeah. But yeah, that's my thought on it, bro. I expect in shape Hrgovic to take this. Let's say if Joyce loses this, there's no where else do you see from him? He's fighting for a British level now. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Hrgovic, it is. You know what, folks? It's a crossroads fight for both guys.
Yeah,
it is for both, man. Because
also for Hrgovic, I think.
Yeah, Hrgovic is trying to get back into contention as that because he was next up. And you mentioned it before, bro, how quick things change in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
1 minute you're over next up, next minute you've got, but then you're 1 or 2 fights away from being next up again. Do you know what I mean? So he's trying to get back into contention. Joyce, I think, is just trying to hold on to some sort of relevancy, to be honest, because there've been calls for him to retire.
Yeah, Joyce can hang about. Look, there's up and coming heavyweights he can face. That British fights, Dylan White, Fabio Wardley. Look, even David Adelaide should be looking at Joy Joyce if he loses this.
Man. That's peak though. That's peak.
They should all be one of the piece of Joy Joyce because right now, if he loses, they should definitely be looking at him as food. Like you can't use the Derek Chisora and you don't think you can beat him.
Yeah,
if
word.
You can't.
Word.
That's the thing you can
dropped.
Dropped and lost to Derek Chisora. Anyone who has any ambitions, and I'm talking about British level fighters. Yeah. I'm not even talking about you. World British. You should be thinking, give me Joy Joyce. The guys who are moving up to heavyweight, React Corp, them man.
Yeah. Coley, yeah.
Give me one fight at heavyweight, and then let me see Joyce. That's what's next for Joy Joyce if he loses, and that's fine. There's bread to be made there, whatever. But title hopes out the window.
Yeah. And again, he does win. It does, like I said, the landscape changes quickly. People will talk again. Oh, Joyce, give him another shot. This, that, he's back. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a big crossroad fight for both guys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But you know what? Joyce is peaker because, like I said, I think Hrgovic is probably a harder out than Dylan White, to be honest. Yeah. We've said White has looked. I mean, pre-ban, he looked cooked. Well, Franklin was cooking him, and then obviously the drugs thing happened, and he's come. I don't know if you saw his comeback fight or his comeback fights, but he hasn't looked great. Yeah. So yeah.
He's had so many comeback fights. Who was the one he was beefing with that they didn't stand there and fight? They was upset. The guy, what's his name?
Hammer? Christian Hammer, no? Was it Hammer?
Hammer, yes, Hammer. Yeah, I think
Romanian,
Hammer.
Yeah, Christian Hammer. Yeah. So he hasn't looked great in any of his comeback fights, to be honest, White. So he himself was using the Joyce fight as a last chance saloon to catapult him back into a big fight, a cash out fight. So yeah, maybe that's what Joyce could use this as. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. It should be exciting though. They're not gun shy, both of these guys, so they'll both throw their hands. It shouldn't be tentative. And we'll see how it plays out. Other fights going down next week, bro. We mentioned before we started recording about how we've got, is it Dulla's fighting as always. I'm not too sure on the opponent, but he's got a fight, and we probably do what Dulla does. That's on the Richard Torres undercard. Um, who else we got? We got Janne Beck is also fighting as well. So that means no, ESPN got 2 cards going on next week then. Is it? I
Yeah,
guess. Because the Torres
yeah,
card's separate to the Janne Beck card, I think. So yeah. Yeah, Janne Beck is fighting a French guy called I can't say his name. Ngami Sengwe. Yeah, that's for his IBF and WBO middleweight titles. We know Janne Beck's been struggling, I guess, itching to get fights on board. Well, he's been trying to get Adamez and Hamza and whatnot. Hasn't been lucky with those. Johnny Beck's, like I said, he's got one of the most entertaining Twitter accounts from a boxer going right now because I know it's not him tweeting, but a member of his team is always tweeting hella smoky every day, adding these guys, saying, you're ducking me, this, that. Johnny Beck is, like I said, we said I think he is probably the class at 160 pounds, the best
yeah.
guy. He is good. And yeah, well, after hearing that Hamza is probably going to move up, it'd be good to get Adamez versus Janabek finally. That'd be good. But yeah, he expect him to come through this test. Tim Tszyu is also in action. Um, yeah, rebuilding. Obviously, we last saw him against that horrible loss against Bakram. Nasty stoppage, peak knockout. In the third round, that was meant to be his get back for that was for Bakram's title. Remember, Bakram they said we'll get washed, but showed that he's a guy to be reckoned with. But yeah,
Back-to-back
Tim Tszyu,
losses. Tim Tszyu as well, wasn't it?
yeah, because it came off the back of the Fundora loss, which again was unfortunate. So this is a crossroads fight for Tim Tszyu. He can't lose 3 in a row. So yeah, this is a big rebuild fight for him. He's up against an American fighter
Get
called
Tony,
Joseph. Sorry?
you can't get Tony Yoka.
It's so peak, man, because this wasn't meant to be his trajectory. We know what he's. Remember, Tim, he's had
That's
the
why I
most.
say Tony Yoka.
Yeah,
Tony Yoka.
man, the unluckiest trajectory ever. This wasn't meant to be. Like, they should have swapped. They need to swap what Cambosa's got and gave it to Tim Tszyu. Swap trajectories because
Yeah.
Tim was primed and deserved his title shots, and obviously Mel messed him about, and the injuries, and I mean, yeah, Mel pulled out, and then there's a couple of times Furman fell through, and other things fell through, man. So it's deep, man. Like he was meant to be chatting, he was elevated because he didn't fight Mel, but then he lost it because it was meant to be Furman and it became Fundora. Yeah, man, and obviously the Mel fights fell through as well. Unfortunate for him. I hope he wins this. He should come for it. I'm not familiar with the opponent, a guy called Joseph Spencer, an American guy, 19 fights, 11 wins by KO, 1 loss. I don't really recognize anyone on his resume. So, yeah, probably just a fight that's been primed for Tim to win well, and then get back on the winning trail. So, I hope he comes through it because he's had a very unfortunate last couple of years, Tim Tszyu. Yeah, I think that's it for the fights. I think next week for unless I miss anyone.
Shakan's fighting.
Takam. Shakan Fizz. Takam. Yeah, Shakan Fitz is fighting on Friday. You're right. Yes. Yeah.
Callum Johnson versus Guilherme. Crazy.
Random fight of the day. Callum Johnson just can't stay away. He's retired like twice now. He's back out of time at fighting Guilherme on the cruiserweight. Yeah. Didn't have a clue, but until you pointed out to me, bro, I didn't have a clue about this one. Yeah. Shout out to Callum Johnson, man.
He's away now. Fair.
Yeah, man. To be honest, I swear his last fight before his last retirement was at cruiserweight. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think he has moved up before. So yeah.
We definitely talked about him. Yeah,
bro, he's retired like twice. I'm not even joking.
Be shocked at him coming back. He's back again.
Yeah. But yeah, he has such a weird career because even when he retired, like it came off the back of bare inactivity and injuries, and apparently like he took some time away from the ring because his head wasn't in it. Like he just had a weird career, Cam Johnson. Yeah. But yeah, hey, they said the power's the last one to go. He might still have that crazy power, and he probably still fights the same way. All action. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Before we wrap up, I guess, did you take note of the Deontay Wilder announcement?
Oh yeah, he's back, right?
He's
Against
back.
the
Deontay,
against the Bulls.
some random cherry, some fan actually, because the guy was apparently the biggest Wilder. No, I don't know if you saw the pictures, but I think they've captioned like your idols become your rivals or something. This guy is like a big Deontay Wilder fan. There's a picture of him like with Deontay, like oh yeah, the fan photos, like kind of
Another
thing.
dive. Another dive.
Basically, immediately I got flashbacks to Hellenius because
Malik Scott run that right back because they're all bridges. Malik Scott, Hellenius, all Wilder's bridges. All sparring partners, friends. I know we got fan in there. Yeah, this is gonna be it.
Yeah, bro. This guy, I think, 5 losses, 28 wins or something like 28 fights. Obviously put in position for Wilder to look good at and to stop, to get Wilder back. That's if Wilder wants to throw punches. So my advice to this guy is just throw punches. Wilder won't throw if you throw punches. So we'll see.
We know the play. For sure. Fall
down.
Oh,
hey, one could say, bro, this is back to regular scheduled programming for Deontay Wilder.
Yep, right back to what he knows.
Random American cherries. That's what he knows. So yeah, man. Remember, Flowz, you called for him to stay at the level. He stayed at the level. He got washed by everyone. So now he's going back to what he knows. Simple.
Parker right through you. Zag
right through you. We'll see. I don't know if I'm assuming he's continuing his relationship with brother Malik. I hope so. So yeah, we'll see. Because they've been killing Malik every single time Wilder fights, saying he's ruined Wilder's career, this, that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see it. Well, I'm not going to watch it, but yeah, I'm sure I'll see highlights. If he gets another highlight, we will knock out. But Wilder really needs to retire, man. I'll be so real. There's nothing left for him to do. Retire, man.
There's the bag there for him. And Daniel AJ is what he's
to be fair, the AJ and Garner's talk is still there. That will always be there. So yeah. But boy, he's in his 40s. I think he's 40 now or whatever.
I'm glad he's back. I
know you got meaning. You've got evil intentions. That's why you want to see him. Literally.
I need to see everything I can before he goes. I need to see it all.
Oh man. Cool. Let's call it a day there, bro. Yeah, it's been episode 241 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, you know where to find us on the streaming platforms. Peace.
I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
Tevin, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.